What is up, y'all? We are back at it again. We're looking at some backstroke videos this time. Now, I got two queued up, but we'll see what happens. One's a 6-minute video, one's a 10-minute video. We might go through both. This first one we're looking at is pretty much beginner-friendly technique. We're gonna see how beginner-friendly, what type of beginner actually, right? And you know how we do, or how, let me say this, backtrack. I've been a little too nice. You know, Instagram, I've definitely been too nice. It's time to start lopping people's heads off again. YouTube is a little different because I could use your video, talk trash, and then all of a sudden I get a copyright strike. So you gotta be a little bit more friendly, but we coming at these people's necks again. So when we talk about beginner-friendly technique, we're talking about beginner, I wanna be a competitive swimmer on the path to greatness, beginner technique. Not, I just wanna look good doing backstroke beginner technique, or look like I know what I'm doing, beginner backstroke technique. So let's get it going. Somebody get the sword.
So with backstroke, you're on your back, chin is up, belly's up, legs under. This is less exhausting than walking because I'm just floating. Now, with the backstroke arms.
What a name. I want everybody to remember this. This is very important, what the thing that he just pointed out. The body line. Okay, hopefully y'all can see that blue line right there. This is something it gets missed all the time. Okay, if we want to call it one of my biggest money makers, because it says it's a mistake in backstrokers that I'll have and nobody fixes it, so they come to me to fix it. Okay, and it's what he just said. Let me see if I can go back a little bit.
Arms are going back.
Okay, so chin up, belly up, kind of. Chin up, belly up, legs under. Okay, it's, oh wow, that looks terrible. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me. Geez, why don't y'all say something? You can barely see it. Yeah, there we go. Goodness, y'all about to just have me out here looking like a fool. Okay, I need y'all to remember this incline. Okay, we are not swimming backstroke flat in the water. Okay, but we think we are because of what our eyes tell us. Straight up. Okay, let's keep going.
Up, legs under. This is less exhausting than walking because I'm just floating. Now, with the backstroke arms are going backwards, and then you're pulling water down to your feet. Down to your feet. That's what's actually moving you forward, is the pull down to your feet. Do not be confused. This does nothing. This portion of the stroke does nothing.
Oh, my bad, guy. I didn't hit the volume thing. Wrong. It's free momentum. Like I said, we want technique that's on the way to being our best beginner style technique. It's free momentum. And it also matters because if your hand goes deep enough, what happens to me sitting in this chair? If I keep reaching back, my shoulder turns. If I'm pulling, right, I'll have my pull set way up out here, and this turns, eventually my hand's gonna come forward, right? So I'm catching way back here, and if I reach back long enough, eventually this hand comes forward, right? So, wrong. Let's just say that and keep it pushing.
Does it move you forward? That's what most people think when they watch swimmers. They see the arm above the water and they think that's what's moving the person forward. That's not the case. It's the pull underneath the surface that's moving the swimmer forward. So on your back, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see crazy arms above the water. It doesn't matter what's happening above the water. I want to see this. Zoom, 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 zoom. I want to see your body zooming forward with each arm pull. Step number 1, big, tall arms. Too many beginners swim with their arms floppy like this. Even though you're not doing that, it could be bigger, taller. Scrape the clouds with your fingertips.
Shout out to this page. I don't know if y'all can see it, but he has 300,000 followers. Like that ain't no joke.
Beautiful. There we go. There you go. Good. Step number 2, reach. Now that you have big, tall arms, too many beginners let their arms fall off to the sides like this. You want your hand to come right in behind your head. Right in behind your head. Okay, so as you're swimming, reach back behind your head for extra water. Beautiful.
Yeah, we gotta give respect when it's given. So when I drew this, right, this is a big issue. He said, reach behind your head. I cannot tell you how many arguments I've had. People say, you can't reach behind your head, you can't reach behind your back. And then I show them, right, like if I have this much space and my body's facing this way, right, that I can reach behind my back, right? And you know, that's where the teacup drill comes in. I'll show y'all right now, right? So I have pretty much no space. I wish I could show this a little better. Does my chair go down? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so so even though it looks like I'm going up and over, my shoulder's still not, right? So there, boom, behind my back, behind my head, right? So we're here. I guess you can see I'm still in yeah, I am, I'm in my shoulder line. Now, but if I go totally flat, you can see how wide I am. Shoulder line. Boom. Let's see if I can get a sideways shot. You can see how far behind my head I am. And really, if I wanted to open it up more, I could, right? So it's about how you use your shoulder, but the reason why this is important is the incline. We think we're flat. So a swimmer is going to take their arm and they're gonna put it in the water right here with flat, right? Because they think they're flat in the water. They are up here. Right? So if they put their arm in the water, gosh, you kind of can't see that. Too much action going on, too much dip on the chip. Right? So if I'm on the incline and I just go even with my body, my arm is going to be pointed up in the air. And this is what makes swimmers catch bubbles. Is they'll enter even with their body, they get feedback that says my whole arm is in the air, but their hand is my whole arm is submerged, but their hand is in the water, and then that's when they go wide and they pull bubbles. So what you have to remember to do is what he just said. You got to reach behind your head. Now, I'm not a fan of the rotation that he's using, but yeah, that arm has to go in here. Okay, so now it actually points forward. But remember, the incline of the body is here, right? So you can see the difference in the lines. Right? You got to reach behind your back when you're doing backstroke. And then if you think about it, once you get here, now you can actually pull in a straight line back. You come over the top, boom. Whereas somebody who's on the incline, they got to push deep with all this bubble action before they can change direction.
Man, she does so good with direction. Good. Chin slightly back more, okay? Chin slightly back more. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Good job. Step number 3, strong invisible hands. That's a fun title I like to give to what I mean is stronger poles, strong hands. Because when too many beginners, when their hand enters the water, they then drop their elbow and their hand comes down by their side. Too easy, too light. They're not getting a full scoop of the water. When your hand enters the water, it needs to come out to the side and get a nice paddle, nice pull of the water with your long paddle. About here, okay? Away from your body. Because the longer your arm is when you pull, usually the better. The majority of the work is being done under the water. The reason I call it strong invisible hands is because when your hand goes underwater, it goes nearly invisible to the spectators above the surface. That's the important part. That's the pull part. That's the iceberg part. Focus on that part. Of all 4 steps, step number 3, strong invisible hands, that's the most important step, okay? Nice. And you can stop.
So I thought he was going somewhere else. I'd say that was a pretty good advice. I'd say overall this video is really good advice so far for what we were going, right? Being on the right path. I think he could explain some things or maybe add and articulate some things a little better. You know, I have a girl actually going right now, 10-year-old, going through the club fundamental stuff, and which is our beginner level content, but it also serves for the purpose of just, you know, being a fast club swimmer, you know, AA, AAA times. And in our backstroke content, we kind of have this same thing where it disappears, but the way the crowd would see is the hand disappears because of the lane line. Can't see it, just the angle, right? So I get what he's saying there. But the strong part, I wish he talks about the whole arm wanting to be long. I wish he had talked about the surface area. I wish he had talked about the whole arm, specifically using the word flexed or tense. So that way it's a strong lever instead of a weak, loosey-goosey one, which he definitely did allude to, the loosey-goosey, relaxed arm pull that we don't want to have. But yeah, overall, this is, I'd say 8.3 out of 10. 7.9. Right now it's a 7.9. Let's see what else he's got.
That step in particular does make it feel a little harder, but it is more important because then you'll start to power your stroke with your arms and less with your legs. And that's important when it's a long axis stroke. Good. Stop.
Like,
good.
You go back and watch that, you can still see the loosey-goosiness of her pull, right? So even though her hands might be strong and it might be wide, you can still see that it's kind of loose and it's petting the water. You know, it's petting the furry wall. All right, let's watch this real quick.
And less with your legs, and that's important when it's a long axis stroke.
Right, just petting. If I do that, it'll freeze on us.
Stop.
Right, so 7.9 so far in terms of advice that's going to actually put you on the right path to being the best swimmer you can be, beginner level advice. I'd say, actually, I'm gonna have to get to 7.0 right now. Nah, 6.9. And you're like, Dax, why did you just drop the score from an 8 something to a 6.9? That tension in the pool and not being loosey-goosey is everything. You don't, like he said, you want to feel more from the pool, but if you don't have a strong lever, a strong structured lever, that stroke is toast. Like, there's no way it's going to evolve as you get older or continue to serve you as you get older. So without that, like, it can only be just better than average, a 5. Yeah, I'd say without that mistake, it's a 7.9 for sure.
Good. All right. We're almost through the 4 steps. Here's the final step. Windmill arms. Once you learn the 3rd step, oftentimes the fourth step is absolutely necessary because now, unfortunately, you're pulling from your pockets, meaning you're taking turns with your arms and you're letting them meet up down by your legs. And that shouldn't be the case. The arms should always stay opposite one another. One arm behind you, one arm in front of you. Okay? And then they're gonna switch places. One arm comes up as the other arm pulls. And then you switch again. Now, this is the only stroke of the four, where your arms switch places. All the other strokes, the arms take turns. They take turns by being patient and meeting up with one another. For butterfly, the hands meet up at the top, and then they take a pull. Meet up at the top, and then they pull. For breaststroke, they go out front and they
This is definitely beginner stuff. You know, it looks like he's talking to maybe an older, like actual serious beginners. Because the things about a freestyle, about and then you pull, and then you pull, like, nah, that ain't the case at all. And all great swimming strokes overlap. Backstroke is actually a shoulder lead stroke, because as soon as that, like if it was opposite, as soon as that would happen, the actual backstroke pull enters and catches immediately and kind of like pops you into your rotation as that happens. So there's a portion of time where there's no arm in front, while the other arm is still on its way out. I have videos where you can see the other swimmer's finished pulling arm is still underwater and he's already caught and he's on his other side pulling. You know, Tyler Clary, Olympic gold medalist. Ryan Lochte, Olympic gold medalist. I think I've won a Pearsall. I'm not sure about that. So yeah, definitely wrong on this. I'm gonna have to give this like a 5 so far. Maybe this coupling motion stuff gives us some better stuff. You know, I'm basing this off what he says, what he alludes to, what he doesn't say, and then what the swimmer does. How do they interpret it, right? Because you have the answers, but the swimmer, the athletes don't interpret it the right way. Like, it ain't good advice then. You need to change up your wording, right? Your meaning is not translating. So I'm gonna give it a 5.5 for right now. So it's average. It's meant for the average person. It's meant to give you average results. You know, we'll see if we can pick this back up though when he starts combining steps.
We're gonna go ahead and combine 2 of the steps from the backstroke arms. So now, big tall arms, reach. Big tall arms, reach. Reach. Big and reach, okay?
I think we're about to get this example that I was talking about. Let me see it. Let's give y'all the one where he's reaching up or reaching in his body line. So the hand's in the air, even though most of the arm is submerged. I think we're about to see that because I just saw it on him and it looks like she's about to do it too. Because if you look right here, you can already see it. You can already see it, right? And if the instructor's making this mistake, I guess the final piece I'm judging off of this too is it meant to put you on the path to be the best backstroke you can be? And this is definitely not doing that. Unless there's something happens at the end. Now watch this. Watch what happens before he rolls. All right, we're gonna see that hand just linger. Right, and this is the thing about this spot, right, is you can't roll it in. You can't even roll it underwater and save yourself, right? So if I'm here, right, even as I roll, oh gosh, I might have to just sitting on the ground. I'll take a knee. Right, so if I'm here, right, next to my head, right, and he looks like he feels like he's behind his back, but it's because he rolls behind his back. All right, look at where my hand is, right? I'm up here, right? Even as I roll, you see how my hand's still high in the air? Like the angle line is still pointed up. Now, so basically, yeah, could it work? Yeah. But you have to hope, and hope is never, it's not something we're about at all. We don't mess with hope. Okay, especially when we can control the outcome. You gotta hope your athlete doesn't rush and start pulling right away, which they are because their whole brain's telling them, I'm on my side, my bicep, my arm is in the water, my hand isn't, and then they pull. But yeah. You can see, look, he's all the way on his side, and you can see his hand. Hopefully you guys can see it. His hand is in the air still. He's all the way on his side. Hips and feet rolled too. Man, 5. We're at a 5 now.
Reach. Big and reach, okay?
Okay, so it's in the water, but we're also like this, right? So that's no good.
Good. Steps 3 and 4, strong invisible hands and windmill arms. Over nice strong pulls. Chin back more. No, chin back. Yeah. Good. Good. You're doing a good job keeping your face dry, but you're dropping your chin to do it. That chin back.
Yeah, I'm keeping it on a 5. So this is where, as an instructor, when I teach swim lessons, I just almost dunk them. But he also doesn't explain this. The water should be over the ears and like at the cap line. Like it should be just their face that's hanging out. Everything else should be under. So he didn't explain it. But yeah, in an actual lesson, if they were doing this, this is where I grab their head and I pull it under till the water's like right here. And I let them go. And of course, because they're gonna, cheat a little bit, so they end up right where they need to be anyway.
Okay.
Yep. And you're good.
Something else that's you need to observe is her feet are this deep because people, and good swimmers do this too, is they will have parts of their stroke that they repurpose for buoyancy, right? So you think about freestyle, it's not that they're not buoyant, but they've been told you need to be on the surface. So they'll bring their legs deeper, kind of like and bend at their hips in this, foreign, not good shape, so they can get their legs up. Which way am I going? Okay. And backstroke, this is what happens. Oh wait, I need a point. My setup's like this still. It's not like this. So I go this way. I'm looking at this one, but it's down now. So that's what's going on here. I think if her body line improved from here to flat, that arm would go on the water, or she needs to understand she's on the incline.
You're about to whack that main line or they want it to hurt. Good job. The final part to backstroke.
Oh, it's also why she won't windmill. And for backstroke, when I coach it, a big part of what we do with our drills are designed to sink the swimmer. So we'll do a lot of arm extended, like with a ball or something, over their face with fins on, and they got to splash the water. Like they can kick the whole foot up if they want, but they have to splash the water and keep their arms over their face. So the only way that they're going to go fast is because they're on that incline and the water pressure keeps them up on the surface, because the arms are trying to sink their face. And if they're splashing, then that means the kick is only pushing this way and it's not pushing up against the weight of the head and the torso with the arms in the air. So that's why she won't windmill. Afraid of sinking.
Combining all 4 steps now. Big tall arms, reach back, strong pulls, windmill arms. It'll all combine together look like this. I'll do it back. So
all right, we're gonna catch that hand I'm talking about. We're about to catch that floaty hand that I'm talking about. We're gonna catch that floaty hand that I'm talking about. There it is. Floaty hand. Floaty hand. Let's see how long it floats. No, he does eventually put it in the water. But that was it, guys. Floaty hand. There it was again. All the way over on the side. See, and this is where a kid would pull bubbles. He's obviously more disciplined. But that's where it happens, right there. Because they're not reaching behind their back. And this is why I don't like coaching rotation and my younger athletes. You know, if they can reach behind their back, it's going to naturally roll. But I need them focused on kicking up at the sky. I use the feet to control their rotation, so they need to only be kicking up, not sideways. And then they just put their shoulders behind their back and let their upper body naturally rotate. And there's some other things, like if they're holding still, when they pull, their body muscles in their chest and their core actually have to work. So there's more to it than just that, but yeah, that's why.
Whole way. Take a swim out. Good. It's kind of exhausting. Okay. Remember to breathe.
Yeah, I'm breathing.
Oh, you are breathing. It's just still very exhausting.
Because I'm trying to lose as